Hey, what's up guys, Tommy here, back again with another video, and right now I have something pretty cool to show you. I think some of you guys have seen this because I did make a video about it before, but it didn't get a lot of views. So here we have my little Chinese pit bike frame. As you can see, it's basically the full package here. We got both wheels, we got a frame, we got a seat, suspension, we have a front brake, not a rear brake, so we're gonna have to order one of those. But basically the whole entire thing's here. And guess what I'm gonna do with it? I'm going to convert this into a mini electric motorcycle. And I'm really excited about this because I just love the shape and size of this thing. It's probably somewhere in between one of those like Razor MX500s and a Sur-Ron, right? So it's not huge, it's a small bike, right? But it's also not so small that it's just ridiculous to ride on. So this thing is going to be a blast once I convert this. But there's some things that we need to do, some things we need to research before we can get this thing converted to the electric beast that it is meant to be. But before we do that, make sure to go ahead, hit that like button, leave a nice comment down below, and most importantly, subscribe so I can continue to make more great videos like this, and let's get right into it.
Alright, so obviously we're still in the planning phase. I don't even have the electronics yet at this point, and we're looking at this bike and figuring out, okay, what do we need to do to convert this thing to electric? Now, obviously, there's going to be some challenges that we need to overcome, some hurdles, in order to actually get everything mounted and put in the proper orientation to get this thing up and running, right? So anyways, I want to show you the biggest, most unique challenge we're dealing with here with getting this bike converted to electric. As you can see, it's empty here. So we're figuring out, okay, where are we going to put that motor? Where are we going to put that battery? So here's my idea. We build a second subframe out of steel. A portion of the frame, we go from this mount right here, it's going to go curve down to the second little mount here, and then it's going to go flat from here. So our motor is going to fit somewhere in here, and then this little steel subframe that we're building is going to not only go and hook up to here, but it's also going to hook up to the top of the frame. This way, we have the load sort of evenly distributed throughout the frame, up here, here, and here, right? So that there's no too much weight sitting on one spot. So another challenge we have here is the foot pegs. Because the foot pegs were originally mounted under the engine, which went right here, and now we don't have an engine, those foot pegs are gonna have to go on our new subframe. So the steel probably should be strong enough to support our weight, but that is a little concern of mine, right? Because I'm gonna be standing on that, jumping on it because it's a dirt bike, right? So anyways, this is the main thing that we're trying to overcome with this bike build. Now that we've talked about that, let me show you what parts I'm thinking about putting on this bike.
Alright, so as far as I can tell, I don't even think we really need to buy a whole lot because we already have most of the stuff for the bike already on the bike itself. We really just need the electronics. So I was actually looking at a motor kit and a specific battery that I was thinking would sort of fit in a good budget range to get this build done, because I'm also sort of thinking like how cheap can I get this build done for, because I sort of want this to be something that other people can look forward to doing for themselves, right? So I found this one motor kit on Amazon which comes with the motor as well as the controller, and it's a 72 volt 3000 watt kit. It has 160 reviews and 4.5 out of 5 stars. So to me, it's surely not the highest quality of stuff, right? Because it's definitely Chinese stuff, but looking at the reviews, it seems like it's mostly 4 and 5 stars, which gives me sort of a good idea of what I'm sort of getting myself into here. Because I think most people like it, and from what I've heard, you can run this thing 4, 5, 6, 7,000 watts, right? Even though it's a 3,000 watt motor, because I've used 5,000 watt motors and ran them at 14,000 watts with no issue. So I'm pretty sure I can run this thing pretty high and get some good results out of that. And this specific kit is going to cost $269, probably around $300 with taxes. So the next thing we actually need to get is a battery. This is going to be the most expensive thing and sort of the most risky thing to actually buy, because typically what you find with batteries, especially Chinese batteries, is they tend to be really cheap and they tend to give people a lot of issues. So I was thinking about either going two routes, right? One, I could buy a 72 volt 20 amp hour battery from MB Power. Now this is a Chinese company, but I have bought multiple batteries from them before, and as far as I can tell, they've worked very well. The one I have in my bike, I've had it in there for like 2 years, and as far as I can tell, the range or life of the battery hasn't deteriorated as long as you properly maintain the battery, it should be good, right? So that's one route that's going to cost about $600, which should keep our price range below $1,000 there. Or I could build my own battery. I have been doing research into building batteries. It does seem like sort of a complicated task that I'm going to have to read up on, but I'm going to let you guys decide. Leave a comment down below what you think I should do. Maybe you can convince me to sway one side or the other. In my opinion, it doesn't really matter too much as long as I can get this thing up and running.
So one last thing we have to think of is the actual cost of the mount itself. So I don't think this should be as complicated to actually manufacture as it may seem. I do have a buddy who has an entire shop. He's a very skilled welder, and I brought this up to him and he said, oh, I can do that for you easy. So, I mean, getting the parts for that, the steel and everything, maybe about $40. We can take the measurements, and to fabricate that, it should probably end up costing us about $80, right? The mounting for the actual motor itself should be pretty simple, because looking at the listing on Amazon, it seems like on the bottom of the motor, it sits on two flat mounts, right? That go across the bottom like this. So basically, as long as we just have a flat steel panel going across the bottom of that frame, where we should be able to just sort of bolt the motor directly into that steel panel, and then under the motor, under that steel panel, we should be able to put our foot pegs. But yeah, in total, with shipping and taxes and just things that come up here and there, I'm hoping that we can get this done for under $1,200, and that would be really exciting, because getting a custom built electric pit bike for $1,200 would be the coolest thing ever. But anyways, I think that's all for today's video. I like to make stuff like this to sort of get people excited about the up and coming stuff on this channel, and also I know a lot of people who watch these videos happen to have more experience than I do, so they can sort of look at the stuff that I'm doing, comment on it, and give me suggestions, which always helps a lot. So if you have any suggestions about this stuff, if you think something I'm doing, maybe you don't like it, or maybe you think I should do this instead of this, make sure to go ahead, leave a nice comment down below for that. Also, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Most importantly, subscribe so I can continue to make more great videos like this, and I'll see you guys soon in the next one.